What? Okay, I just used my boring intro. I need to redo stuff. I don't make time for it because that's not my jam. I'm not like super good at that stuff.
No, it
And
was good.
my husband makes fun of me because he actually did you know he went to art school?
No. Well, maybe I did. No, I only maybe remember that from when he was saying that he was drawing on his fancy, super fast tablet computer.
Yeah, so he went to Cal Arts and the Academy of San Francisco for art and animation. And how we got to where we are now, I don't know. Because now
How
he does
has he not
cybersecurity.
fully animated an intro for you, though? How has this not happened, sir? Sir?
He's a little
Sir?
busy. He's a little busy.
I know
So
y'all are like busy with real stuff. He's busy saving the world with, security stuff. So I get that.
right? I know. Oh my gosh, it's Clown Town's on live. Woohoo!
Woo woo! What's up, everybody?
Right.
How are you? Live chat. I'm so happy to see y'all.
My husband has some super cool stuff. He's got skills. He's my technical support, and he also takes care of all the art projects for my kids.
Oh,
I
well,
don't
that's
do
fan. That's a win. That is a win. That's a super win.
Yes. Okay, so before we do this Carl and Autumn thing, do you want to hear what my kid said to me today?
Of course I do. You know I do.
So we were out, and my 14-year-old was trying and trying and trying to get a hold of me because she wanted to know if I was going to pay her allowance. Okay, so it was super important, of course. But I was driving. I'm like, whatever. So my other kid was like, it's all right, I'll text her. Sweet. And I said, do you know what? When I was little, my mom didn't have a cell phone. I couldn't get a hold of my mom, and I did just fine. And Jason's like, what did you use? Or what did they say? Well, then how did you guys talk? And I said, well, we used carrier pigeons. And Jay started laughing and went, more like carrier pterodactyls.
What? Oh, the sass. The sass level is unmatched. Oh my god.
What? I can't believe I'm gonna take you on a vacation. I don't think I'm gonna do that.
You gave birth to them and you're taking them on vacation. Like the gifts just keep on giving. You are the nicest mom.
This is the same kid that asked me which of the 13 colonies I was from. Yeah. That's
oh my gosh. Well, at least they know their history. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sassy, but I love the references. You know, they might get you grounded for the rest of your life, but I mean, we can appreciate them. We can appreciate them online for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I both respect you and I'm super mad. I know, I'm like, I control it. Do you want to go on vacation next week? I will leave you home. I will leave you
literally
home.
Biting the hand that feeds them and clothes them and houses them. So, you know, it's just it's bold. It is very bold. Very, very, very bold. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Every day we kids do stuff. Every day. All right. Roasting someone is a love language. Look at that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My kids view that as a love language. So, all right.
Yes, I mean, all a Beachbody. What's up? It's love. It's all love, masked as snark.
Yep. My kids are funny. Wait, what did Clown? One time I was joking to my mom that I was a miracle. She was like, "Speak for yourself." Okay, so now, so that was Clown Town that said that. I clicked on the wrong one. Now they did roast themselves a little bit later, and it was, wow, your mom is so slow that it took her 9 months to create a mistake. I was like,
ouch, ouch. So that's so hot. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh
Yep,
my god.
All right. So somebody sent me these videos that is Carl talking to the super trainers about their new body block, whatever, right? And I've got the one of Lacey, which I'll do that one at some point. But this one with Autumn just really makes me so uncomfortable, and it's so gross. And how many times can you recreate 21 Day Fix? Like, This is so that you've got 21 Day Fix, then you had 21 Day Fix Extreme, you had 21 Day Fix Real Time, you had 21 Day Fix Extreme Real Time. I think this is like number 5, maybe?
Is this like movie studios remaking something so much that it's like it's not fun anymore? It's not like you should have stopped after number 1, and it's like you're trying to milk something that doesn't have any milk to give or something like that.
It's like Land Before Time number 45 or something. Like, you just have to stop at some point.
Sure.
Like, just
sure.
call it. But 21 Day Fix, that is their like bread and butter, right? Autumn gets all the new stuff. Autumn gets all the cool things. So we are going to watch Carl and Autumn talking together, and it brace yourself, because it's going to get uncomfortable.
Oh, I can't. I'd say I can't wait, but I guess I can wait. Carl and Autumn. So for people who are new, though, who maybe have stumbled upon our video and don't really know Beachbody, can you give us a Spark Notes rundown, a rundown of like what it is, how we got here, how we got into this twisty bog of like, you know?
It is so crazy. So Beachbody's been around for 25 years. And really, a lot of people, they're like, I've never heard of that. You probably have, because it's P90X, it's Insanity, it's all of the infomercials. I think they even have their own infomercial channel, actually. So they have all of these programs. The programs, that's not where they make their money. They make their money through Shakeology, because it is $130 for 30 servings. And by far, that's where they make their money. And Carl's even said at some point, like 70% of their revenue or something comes from Shakeology, which is just dumb. And it's gross. Like, it's not even a good shake. But so Carl started it originally. He worked for Guthy Ranker. And Guthy Ranker was like the ultimate infomercial place. And so he decided to start his own thing, and hence Beachbody came to be. It's now 25 years later, and the company, they went public, 2 years ago? The highest the stock has been was like $14.05 or something, and today it is at 70 cents. So they are crashing hard.
Yeah.
It's nuts. And they actually have their fourth quarter earning call this afternoon. So we'll see how bad that goes. But anyway, so that's Carl, and he is trying to do a total rebrand, but people they say they're on board, they're not on board. Because they are continuing to do the same crap that they have been doing before. And you'll even catch them like catching themselves like, oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say that. Like, we're about loving yourself where you are. We're not about all of the, you should record it, Clowntown. We're not about all of this, weight loss and transformations. We're about body positivity. And then the next minute, all of their top 10 coaches post body transformation. And it's like, what? I don't think they're on board.
I think they're body positive if you're losing weight. Like, I think they're body positive if you're plugged into Beachbody and you want to get smaller. At least that's what it comes across when we've seen Autumn absolutely rage against people, because she's like, the only people who are like pro body positive are people who are out of shape, or it's something along the lines of that. And we've seen it from other coaches and super trainers too. So
yeah, absolutely. And people are talking about P90X. When Beachbody initially started, they had some great programs. They really did. I lost like 75 pounds doing Chalene Extreme, and it had a very reasonable meal plan with it. It was so different. But now it's almost like they feel they have to have something new and innovative every time. So they come up with the craziest exercises possible. You check Brianna Jewel's YouTube, and she shows them and talks about how idiotic the moves are. and how dangerous they really are. Because you're moving too fast. You're doing really, you don't know which weights to use. It's just rough. So yeah. So that's Beachbody, and Carl's trying to save it because he lost probably hundreds of millions of dollars in this whole stock thing because he is the number one stock shareholder. I want to say he had like 600 million in it. So that's gone.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's gone. Yeah. So he's desperate. And hence we have Autumn's newest program. So we are going to add this video in. Brace yourself.
Hey everybody, it's Carl and welcome back for another episode of Behind the Block. Joining me is another fantastic super trainer. This time, Autumn Calabrese.
See how he
just
said
got
that?
done shooting what, like week?
Look at her face. She's like, I am the super trainer. Excuse me. Like, don't just call me another one.
I am the with a capital T. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's even wearing a hashtag machine sports bra, I think. Nice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
3-day 3, maybe?
Yeah, look at you. Week 3, day 3, leg day.
I'm paying attention. All right. So this is really about what goes into the making of a program, what goes into the making of a super block. And, you know, for anybody who hasn't been paying attention or who's new to the team, Autumn started with us, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. And the way we met was a fantastic coincidence of an idea that I had looking for a new personality and to bring a fitness and nutrition plan together and really.
He always
a new personality.
Okay. He's looking for the main character who's going to play a nutrition and fitness coach. And he found Autumn.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we love a certification. We love a certification. We love someone who, you know, doesn't gaslight the hell out of us. We would love someone who actually cared to say the people that I'm making programs for deserve me to be as licensed or as certified as I can be within reason. And that my qualifications should be up to date. Why is that so hard to ask? Why is that so hard?
To say that you're looking for a new personality versus looking for an expert, that's pretty telling right there. Like there was a very specific look and personality you were going for. It wasn't about the qualifications.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's gross.
Merge them, but to do it in a shorter time span so that people wouldn't be intimidated, but like they might be from some of our other programs, which are 90 days, 6 weeks, and so on. And we said, let's try a 3.
Okay, it's going to be long if we keep doing this. However, he's the one that, like, an Autumn created 80-day obsession, right? So you're saying that you're trying to create something because people need a shorter time frame to get results. But then he released 9-week Control Freak, 80-day obsession. So the things that he's saying doesn't compute. That, you know, people have such a low attention span that they have to get results in 3 weeks. And in my opinion, 3 weeks is not long enough to get sustained results. You're still trying to figure everything out, especially, well, I guess part of it depends on what your goals are, I guess, because I wanted strength gains. I'm not going to get that in 21-day fix.
Right.
It just isn't, it's not how the body works. So no. And he even created 6-minute abs. So he really thinks very low. He sets a low bar for people. He's like, 6 minutes, maybe they can handle that. Like, sir.
I think his brain is too stuck in the marketing because that's what he was doing. He was making TV infomercials. He was in the entertainment / info space for whatever those commercials are that you spend 30 minutes watching and then you buy something. He was doing that. I think he doesn't appreciate the value that we should be bringing the best people to this position, even if they don't look whatever like a model, or if they don't look like whatever, because he cares if the guys are buff and the girls are skinny with big boobs. And
Mhm.
and I'm not trying to be it just that's what it comes across as, because it would seem that, and again, he brought 𝐔𝐒𝐄 on. That feels a little bit like a tokenism,
Huh?
a tokenism type of move, because of his behavior that he has displayed from the beginning of Beachbody till now, and the way that he lets Autumn treat her.
Yeah.
Because I assure you, the person who's giving Autumn her money would be able to shut down something that he wouldn't be okay with. And we've heard her literally say things directly in conflict with what 𝐔𝐒𝐄 has said, and there's no pushback from him.
Well, and it's interesting because what she has done, like even within the last couple weeks, she's been trying to convince people that they need to get ready for this 21-day fix super block. And so you should do that by doing 4 weeks for everybody, or the original 21-day fix. So she's throwing out all of her programs. 𝐔𝐒𝐄 just had a program launch.
Yeah.
If you are truly about the company, you should be recommending the newest program, especially one that is it's for beginners only. It's to help get you ready for a more intense program. So it's like, but she will very rarely talk about anyone else.
Yeah, she literally won't. We did a video, or I reacted to a video of hers where she's like, I don't know what this food plan is because I don't know about her program. I don't know about his program. I don't know about whoever's program. And it's like, and she doesn't ever talk about her country one. That is correct, MG. Good point.
Oh my gosh. I am certified. They don't even have the live classes anymore, but I'm totally certified to teach that. We'll have to maybe we could do a live workout one day. We could do a live country heat workout.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Maybe we could get Brianna to come on too. Be like, all right, let's go.
3-week program. So we were looking for that talent, and then through a couple of people, a couple of times, we found you. Now, let's give everybody just a little minute of your background and what your dreams were that even led you to this career and to Beachbody.
So I don't even know if you know this story, Carl, or not, but it's funny when you were like, what was your dream before you were with Beachbody? So first of all, when I first became a personal trainer, when I first was literally working on my certification, I hadn't even finished my certification yet. I was up late sitting at the table studying, and an infomercial was on the TV, and it was the P90X infomercial. And I looked at my then fiance and I said, I wonder how you get to be Tony Horton. Like literally out loud, I said, I wonder.
She will never be a Tony Horton. I'm just going to throw that out right now. Like the difference. And Tony Horton, actually, there was a podcast. I don't know if we've ever reacted to it. It is a really long podcast, but he throws some serious shade at the current Beachbody trainers. And it's funny because Tony Horton's like, no, like, I don't know what it is they're doing up there now. But it's not it. So the fact that she even compares herself to Tony Horton, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Yep.
How you get to do that. So, you know, and at the time, Biggest Loser was a really big thing, and Jillian Michaels. And I just knew I wanted to help people, and I wanted to help people in a big way and on a big stage, not to have the attention necessarily be about me, but because I knew even as a personal trainer, I could only reach so many people in a day. There's only so many people you can train in a 24-hour day and still, you know, do the rest of life. And even in my first job interview to be a personal trainer, the woman interviewing me to work for her company said, what's a big goal of yours? And I didn't really know what Beachbody was at the time. I just knew P90X. I didn't know there was a coaching thing, and I didn't know there was live
wasn't
events
at the
or
time.
anything like that.
Was there?
Didn't know
No,
that
it wasn't. No, so I want to say the videos started coming out like in the late 90s. Well, yeah, like late 90s. And then they switched over to add in the coaching network about, I think it was about 2007 or something, is when they added the coaching opportunity. Oh, no, Tony Horton is not the Gazelle guy. I can't remember that guy's name. Tony Horton's the P90X guy.
Yep. And he was great.
Yeah, but the fact that she said Jillian Michaels is not a trainer, in my opinion, to aspire to be.
Yeah.
She, like, and the amount of abuse that happened in watching Biggest Loser, I think she did want to be famous. Like, I feel as if that has always been a goal. Oh, it was Tony Little that did the Gazelle. Do you remember the Gazelle?
Yes,
Totally
I do.
I totally have. Well, when you were talking infomercials, I was laughing because when I would be up, like, feeding my newborns, I would just turn on the TV and it was always infomercials. And I'd be like half asleep. And the next day I'd be like, huh, did I order something? And like things would just start showing up at our house.
Hey, they will get you. They will get you late at night, especially if you're sleep deprived. You know what I mean?
My husband was like, we cannot afford for you to be up with the babies anymore. I will do it because I don't need another knife set. Like, Amy, stop it.
Oh my God.
I had all of the Beachbody programs, you know, I did it. They really are the creepiest duo.
Into being with the company. And I said, you know, I really want to be able to go out and reach the people. Like, I imagine doing these like big events and families could come and parents could come with the kids and I could lead a workout and talk about nutrition and like maybe we would have sponsors and pass out like a healthy bar or something. Like, I spoke it out into the universe. I just didn't know it was a thing.
Oh my God.
Did Brad teach her how to manifest?
You must have. Or or Ray Higdon. Yeah, or something. Someone taught some control stuff with your mind. You know? I just and the crazy thing is, if you think about manifestation in like if it's a type of law, like they're saying it should apply to everything. So then are you saying that people who've had horrible things happen to them basically spoke that out into the universe? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I mean, it's kind of the things that we talk about with the like religious manipulation and some of the things like the prosperity gospel part of it. And it's like, wait, so you're you saying anyone who has not made $1 million is not loved? Like, it doesn't compute if you look at it that way. And someone asked about her nutrition qualifications. So she does now have a certification from the Integrated Institute of Nutrition, which is not a reputable or accredited place at all. It's pretty wonky. And the biggest concern is she's now taking a hormone health class. And so we're pretty confident that there will be a hormone health program coming out shortly. But the fact that she's saying when she was just barely going to be certified that she wanted to talk about nutrition and stuff, then why didn't she study that like at that time? And why didn't she have her certifications? Because she doesn't have any current certifications that we've been able to find.
She could be doing that. She's still quite young and there's still people. I mean, Stephen Hassan got his PhD he started it when he was 62. So it's not literally she could, if she actually gave a flippity flop about the people that she's creating these programs for, or cared about some kind of ethical platform for her to be able to stand on and spout this stuff, she could get her degree as a registered dietitian and pass the test to do that. She could even be a licensed nutrition counselor or whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but she could do something. She could say like, yeah, you know what? It is important for me to be able to have this from an accredited school or a program so that I am not just talking out of not my mouth. I'm trying to be G-rated.
Well, and here's the thing. I think the other thing is, though, if she did do that, and if she did become like a registered dietitian, you also have like code of ethics that you have to follow. And I don't know if the things that she's doing would fall within that.
Sure.
I think
Because
like addressing gut health, getting all of these different things, then she would have a higher level of responsibility as well.
yeah.
And like, yeah, if she gets licensed, then she's liable.
Mm.
And I don't think they want them to do that. Like, I think that is potentially one. Although I did tell my husband, I think I am going to go back to school to get my PhD, but then I also am going to change my name because I have not hyphenated my last name. But do you know what my initials would be?
Yes.
I could be Dr.
Let me know.
I would be Dr. F.U. for my initials.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Yes, we would
My
love
husband
that.
was like,
Amy,
"No."
do it.
He was like, well, now you have to do that. I'm like, oh my gosh, can you
literally
imagine?
have to. Be
could become a
incredible.
therapist.
Could you imagine? You would be the best therapist, number one. I would love to see you go to school for that. And number two, can you imagine your YouTube channel, Dr. FU debunks MLM, or Dr. FU literally there's too many puns, there's too many opportunities for titles. Yes, and live chat agrees. I'm gonna put a poll up in my chat. Do y'all vote over my chat? Do we think Amy should go back to school? Here we go. Here we go. I'm adding it.
And then just hyphenate, and that'll be my last. Hyphenate my last name. I'll take my maiden name back and hyphenate, and we're good to go.
Dr.
Can you imagine that? Yeah,
Yes.
my therapist is Dr. Fu. That'd be awesome.
Oh
It'd
my
be
gosh.
fantastic. Take the name
Oh my
right
gosh,
now.
I'm asking my community. Here you go. Poll, y'all, come vote in the poll, because we're gonna submit this to we're gonna submit this as a presentation to Amy's husband, as a not that he would have to sign off on it, but just as a look how much online support she has to go back to school to get her PhD. Yes.
I think I'd rather do that than take the ranch dressing ice cream challenge that Amber put in her poll. I don't think I'm up for that one, but I would go back to school. We'll have to see. Maybe we should make that happen. I do think Dave, yeah. So Dave just said, I do think that's one of the reasons to not maintain a certification or to get one would be because of the liability. Yeah. So there you go.
The Beachbody did at the time, and then I don't know, 7 years later, we met, and the rest is history.
Wow,
he's
that's
not
pretty,
impressed
7
with that.
years later. Come on, universe, pick up the pace,
Right?
So here we are, and we met and got things going, and the original vision for 21 Day Fix, as I mentioned, was that I believed that biting fitness into smaller chunks, that people could really just get their head around. I can do 21 days. It was a great way to onboard people. And at the same time, I've always felt that obviously the biggest issue to try to help people with is to figure out how to balance their nutrition in a way that didn't feel like it was a diet. And
so here's the interesting thing to me, though. He is actually like saying, when I decided to do this, this is what I was looking for. Like, he's kind of taking it as like, this was me. And she doesn't look happy about this.
Oh, yeah, because she's not getting credit. She's not getting credit, and she hates that. She hates it.
Felt like it was adequate, and we had some ideas for a portion program. Like, literally, we're designing this thing, and then we found you had your own portion program, and it all just, like, this was truly what they call simpatico. I don't know, something like that. Like, it was just like this perfect connection, and but I was getting some pushback actually at the time. Even the director of the program fought me on, like, people won't get results in 21 days, and product development and marketing were like,
wow.
Can you even imagine working with him? The stuff he like comes up with that you're like, yes, let's do that. Let's do that. That's a great idea. Like,
And how
ugh.
much shade to her too, that, you know what, I saw value in you, I saw value in your program, but nobody else did. The only reason that your program got to see the light of day was because of me. You owe everything to me. It's just, it's a little egotistical, and that's fine. You're the CEO of the company, you're the one that's crashing your business. Okay, I'm sorry, seemingly crashing your business. Fine, take all the credit, Carl, take all the credit.
Well, I was going to say, you have to take all the credit, but then, sir, you're going to have to start taking some blame as well, because that's not right.
You know, people don't want to feel like getting a fix, and which is the way I looked at it. That 3 weeks was a fix, not fixing them per se, was fixing things about their lives they wanted to change. So anyway, I had my vision for it, and as I sometimes do, plow ahead with confidence, and it's worked out for me so far in a few ways. But what was your feeling as you went into the program with the original concept?
I thought you were crazy. I just couldn't say it. No, literally, like every
You couldn't say it.
Was a
You couldn't. You couldn't
No,
say it.
It would ruin her big opportunity. Yes.
Oh.
Let's go. Let's go.
stressful day,
Oh.
because I kept thinking like, oh my God, this is my opportunity. I don't want to blow my opportunity, but they're giving me 3 weeks. And I remember, you know, this was at the time where it was like, we want to be able to make a claim, but obviously we were going to run test groups. We have to make sure that we could support the claim that we were going to make, which was we were really targeting being able to help beginners, people of all fitness levels.
Wait. Did she just say help beginners? I thought they
But
just.
they've never made a beginner program before. They've never done it before. What? I thought Lacey's was the first beginner program. I'm shocked, Carl. What?
Doesn't it remind you, like, with my daughter, we have the talk of, okay, if you lie, you have to keep track of that lie, and eventually you're gonna slip up. And so it's better to just tell the truth, but they cannot do that. They can't keep track of their lies. There's too many of them that are going, does she have a baby filter on? I don't know. I don't know what is going on. She also has stage makeup on because they were filming. So I think like she's got a lot of stage makeup going on right now in this one.
That people had a large amount of weight to lose. We really wanted them to recognize that if they combine their fitness and their nutrition, they could get somewhere probably between 10 and 15 pounds off in these 21 days.
10 to 15 pounds in 21 days.
What?
Oh.
15 pounds in 21 days? Holy moly!
Like, that is not a reasonable goal. It's not a reasonable goal. They say, like, for healthy weight loss, medical papers have shown like 1 pound, 2 pounds max per week is what is going to be sustainable. So
they're talking about 15 pounds.
Mhm.
Holy crap.
In 3 weeks. Yeah. They want people to know that that's reasonable. That's reasonable. Mike, oh God. Oh.
Amy, 25
like-
people want you to go back to school for Dr. FU from the poll. So I'm going to end the poll here and we're going to submit that as our evidence.
All right. I will take that. I will take that.
There's no way I'm going to do all this work and I'm going to fail and I'm going to lose my job because I don't know how to make this happen. And then I finally just got to this point, like Steph and I were having so much fun, even writing the workouts, which the original 21-day fix, that workout program was written 6 or 7 times before we landed on what it actually is. We would write it, you would give us notes, we'd go back, we would fix it, we would do it again. It's too hard, it's too easy, it's too this, it's too that. We were like, are we ever going to get it? So there was definitely a lot going on, but I did finally find this moment of just settling in and being like, okay, we're putting the nutrition with it. And if people really stick to their nutrition, they actually can do this. Like, this is not a diet. This is not a quick fix. This is about fueling their body.
It's a quick fix. What by definition is not a quick fix about losing 15 pounds in 3 weeks? So that literally by definition is a quick fix, and it's a diet. A diet is a rigid, in my understanding, it is a reduction in calories. It is a change in food for the purposes of, and hopefully, I don't know, in Beachbody's terms, lose weight, because that's what they want. They've wanted that from the very beginning.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh.
And so someone had asked about how much are you expecting. So they have different, depending on your current weight, you go through this calculation. The lowest you're going to have is 1,200 calories, but then the highest you're going to have is, I want to say it's like 2,500 maybe. If you have someone who is on the larger side, they're going to need to eat more than that.
Yeah.
Because just depending on where their what is it? The base metabolic rate,
BMI?
depending on what that is.
Yeah.
I think it's BMR, basic basal metabolic rate or something. Like just how much they have to eat to stay alive. But she's saying even if you're supposed to eat, 3,000 calories just to stay alive, drop it down to 2,500. And it's like, that's not a good idea. And she's not right. It's literally a quick fix. It's 3 weeks. You are talking about a quick fix.
Yeah.
And the website did say ditch the diet. I would also recommend people go look. Brianna Jewell did a video, I think it came out last week, that was Autumn with Tom Bergeron, that did like AFV and Dancing with the Stars and stuff. She trained him, and she had a whole container system that she had developed. They were not color coded, but they were like, she had separate containers for everything. This is what you measure your wine in. This is what you measure. Like it was pretty intense. And so then they did a few changes with it, but she was doing that before Beachbody ever purchased her program or her soul. I know when I saw Tom Bergeron on like that video that I think it aired on the Hallmark channel, I was like, are you serious right now? Really?
Yeah.
I like Tom. Dang it. Yeah.
And if they're fueling their body and moving their body, I do think we can get them there. So, but I did have a solid month or two of just being like,
yeah. Well,
my
hey,
day
look,
hurt.
and then we saw Mary, who was she in her 60s?
Miss Mary, I think, was 62 or 63 when she started the test group.
And she went round after round after round, was like the biggest advocate, absolutely loved it. We had Dion, who lost an amazing amount of weight, and it was because it was broken off into these pieces. Interestingly enough, similar to sort of the body block construct. Mm-hmm. But so here you are now. Obviously, we launched that before digital. But if we sort of take it all those sales together and all those DVDs and like you've had hundreds of millions of views of this program. Like if we look at the digital platform, I think the overall 21-day fix concept has over 100 million views. It's been a stunning success, continues to always be in the top 20, or one of the versions is always in the top 10 of what's being streamed. And I think when people look at it and they start to look at this super block that you're creating, it looks like it goes so easy. It looks like all this simplicity, and she just gets up there and she says the same thing and does the same stuff and does the moves. But is it that easy? Like what all goes into it, and what sort of challenges do you have to overcome as you create these things?
Okay, before she starts, I don't know where it is. I had not seen her video. Have we seen her new post about fat loss? I just looked at it and I definitely have thoughts. I think that's one I'm going to send to. We have a few registered dietitians that we chat with, and we may send that one over to them and to Brianna, because I don't like that. Let's talk a little bit about their test groups. Their test groups are just coaches. They are just volunteer Salesforce members, it's not like they're doing a true double-blind test where, do you know what? You guys are going to do 21-day fix. You guys are going to do this other program. They don't do that. It's strictly their own coaches who, some of them have already been doing programs for a long time. It's not the things that they claim from test groups. It's not right. It's not accurate. Even when they said, God, it was during 4-week gut protocol when they said like 70% of people had gut issues. That was a survey that they did of their own coaches. That was a survey of their people that have been drinking.
Yeah, and it taints
shake.
the results. Yeah, it taints the results because who is invested in the success of the program? The coaches. The coaches are. So if they're going to do whatever they can to make the program work, in my opinion, and I'm not saying that all the people participating are ethical. I'm saying that they have something they need from it. They need a successful program. So they're going to be very, if not more committed than someone who is not associated with Beachbody at all. And so the test results, in my opinion, are tainted because the people who are participating have to their profits are tied to the program being created.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So Stacey's talking about the size test group. They had people almost like models / actors that came in and tried out to be in the test group. And there was someone did an article or a podcast or something, and they were talking about the fact that they would do the size workouts. They also had access to a gym. They had all 3 meals prepared for them. So they knew exactly what was going. Like, they controlled it to such a high extent that it's like, can you really call that like what an actual test? No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can either.
Yeah, it's supposed to look flawless and easy. If I've done my job right and I've done my job well, that by the time I step foot in front of the camera, and I actually talked about this in day 1 of filming this super block, I was like, guys, you got to remember, it's your day 1. It's not my day 1. I've written the program, tested the program, rewritten the program, retested it, run the rehearsals for it. By the time I get up here, this is like my 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah.
So like, yes, it's going to look easy for myself and even for my cast because they've gone through it in rehearsals. But for your day 1, you're going to fumble and wonder what the heck I'm doing and be a rep or 2 behind. But it's not an easy process, but it's a fun process, right? Like, there's that moment where the whiteboard is just that. It's just an empty whiteboard with nothing but possibilities. But again, when you're talking about staying within the 21-day fix structure, you have to be creative. How do I keep the moves simple enough that everybody feels like they can do it, but they work, and it's interesting and doesn't feel like the exact same thing we did with the original and then real time. And so there is definitely a challenge in front of me. It's just, I love that.
But they're trying to be creative with the moves. And in doing so, they end up coming up with these wonky combinations when, do you know what? Stick to the basics. And those are effective. They're effective for a reason. You don't have to keep recreating unless you're trying to sell. Right? So you should, and her moves are not simple. They are not simple.
They're literally not. They're not.
No. And like Fitness Blender or Peloton or some of these others, you do them and you're like, holy crap, I just did squats and lunges and I'm dying. And she comes up with these like weird ballet hop things and stuff. It's just, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Puzzle.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle that I get to get up there and write and look at it and see what sort of fits and what doesn't, and then come in and tweak it. And I will be honest, I tweak it right down until they say action. Like until we start filming day 1, I'm coming in going, I don't like that move. Actually, I'm going to replace it with this one. And everybody's like, oh, here she goes.
Yeah. Now, what about the music?
How can she test a program effectively if she is changing it up until the moment that they record it? How are they actually doing the test group if there's nothing consistent Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how
Yeah.
can you really test something if you're not going to say, we're going to try out these moves for 3 months and see if we have an increase in injuries, if we have an actual increase in strength and flexibility? If it's just, I'm not even, and again, maybe this is wrong, I'm not a fitness professional. I'm just saying it seems like something has to be consistent to be able to be tested. And she seems to be
Yeah.
more concerned with having her program look good on screen, and that may not be
I would
fair.
agree.
So
I would agree with that. And, you know, so it's interesting. I think I'd mentioned this before. I started seeing a registered dietitian to actually figure out food and how to eat. And he was like, we can't really even establish what your basal metabolic rate is until you've been doing something for like 3 or 4 weeks and we see what happens. Like, it's
Right.
not even, I'm just trying to keep things standard so that we even know where I'm at. But you wouldn't know that unless you worked with a professional who actually understands what they're doing.
yeah,
That's one of the cool things about a super block is this is the first time that you've been able to actually create playlists from songs that everybody knows for their first play through the program.
Okay, wait, did you catch what he just said?
yeah, songs that everybody knows or something like that.
Through the first play of the program. You get songs that everybody knows only through like your first play. And then after that, you're going to get canned music.
Because he's so cheap, he won't pay the 𝐔𝐶LI. Oh my god!
Yep. So oh my gosh, that is so funny. My watch just heard you and it said, that's what I thought.
Oh my gosh, Siri, you know what's up. What a
That's
cheapskate.
right.
And
Yeah.
I will say this, what a cheapskate for doing that. Because if you know that people will want to do your program and they want to listen to music that they actually like and know, but you're only going to let them access it for the first time they play it, Carl, literally the more I find out about Beachbody, the more I see why it's tanking. Because can you imagine Peloton saying like, look, we see that you've logged on from your bike in for this class for one time. Now that your second time repeating this ride, you don't get access to the music that the trainer specifically put together for your playlist. So here you go. Here is free YouTube royalty-free music. Hope you have a great workout. Can you imagine? I mean, I can't imagine because we see it with Beachbody. I don't have to imagine.
So when Shanti released Size, the songs that he choreographed to, and they fit perfectly with the songs. Size is one that you choreograph to the song. It's a dance program, but they
Right.
only had licensing for so long. So now instead of dancing to like Bruno Mars Treasure, you're now dancing to some weird, random, royalty-free type song. And because they aren't willing to pay for the licensing. Yeah. It's crazy.
Ooh,
I'd be interested if they had to go back into old Turbo Kick, or not, sorry, Turbo Kick's the live version, Turbo Jam, because they had some pretty dang good music in the Turbo Jam DVDs. So I'm interested in the 1950s mixtape. So it turns into Richard Simmons went into the oldies, but you know, instead of Shanti Size.
Yes.
How did that component add to the experience and what people are going to do when they get this super block?
I grew up as a dancer, so I grew up, music moves me. Like music, that sets my soul on fire. Like,
music moves me, but I'm not going to fight for us to have good music that we can listen to for every single program. You're just going to get it once. Can you imagine the retention? People, if you're looking at a retention problem, here's a big part of it. They know that they're not going to have great music to be able to come back and listen to. It's literally so obvious to me, and they won't do it. I
kind of hope it's the Kid Bop version. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That'd be amazing. Yes.
Kids Bop.
I love that.
Yeah. I know a lot of people didn't believe that she's actually a dancer because Country Heat was something.
good song comes on, I'm in the best mood. Like if you're having a tough day and you put on that like little bit more rock music, like that gets me through it. So for me, and I can only speak for myself, my playlists are so important. Like now that I have that component, I'm like, okay, what are we doing today? How does that fit? Like, what is the motivation? What are we going to be struggling with? Because let's be honest, like we're here to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. So what music, what song am I going to need to hear when I show you that hard move, but then the song comes in and you're like, I got it. And there's every genre in there. There's, 80s hip hop, 80s rock, 90s pop, rap, R&B. I think
Carl
the only thing I
looks
didn't
like
use was
he's
country, and you'll never hear me use techno.
wanting her to stop talking.
Aside,
So she didn't use country and she won't use techno.
Yeah, so every genre, but you missed a ton of them.
Mm-hmm. And I would
Wow.
be curious to see if she has any death metal in there. I think no.
from that, I think there's something for everybody, and it just makes it so fun, and I feel like it makes the workouts go faster, and that is a lot of the feedback I'm getting from our podcast is like, that playlist gave me life. It made the workout go so fast. I was singing along the whole time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
Are you serious, Jenny? She said that music was a distraction.
No way. I would love the clip of her saying that and then mashed up to this clip of her just saying this, because Autumn versus Autumn is the best. It's the best way to debunk.
It really
everything.
is. It really is. And it's crazy to me too. When I would do her programs, I would actually have to turn the sound off because she drove me nuts. She talks throughout the entire workout. So I would turn the sound off and put on my own music because just the incessant chatter is awful. It's
Yeah,
awful
Tony
that she
Horton
does.
wasn't like that. And again, people hear us comparing her to Tony Horton. It could be another great female or other like trainer that we're comparing it to. It's not us being, misogynistic a-holes. We're just saying if you look at a good trainer who cares about form and doing things that are gonna, I don't know, like it seemed like Tony was like that. And he certainly didn't shame the people who were the modifiers on P90X.
Yeah. Well, and I would even say Shalene that did Beachbody years ago. So she had Turbo Jam, Turbo Fire, and then she had Pio. And if you want to be like, if you do not dislike Beachbody yet, you should go listen to some of the things that Shalene has to say about how being in the fitness industry, she doesn't mention Beachbody specifically, but how bad it made her with orthorexia and the weight that she got down to and how damaging it was to her brain and her body.
Wow.
So
wow.
It's bad. And I loved Shalene. Like I did her programs. Her programs are what actually helped me like fall in love with lifting weights. So
cool.
Obviously, look, we're talking about the workouts, but the nutrition is so fundamental to this. And I actually want to talk a little bit about the struggle even creating that, even with the original test groups, because like that's one of the things, like you had a very strong idea for this and a way that you wanted this to be, to not deprive people, but for them to still get results. Talk a little bit about that. And then you even got pushback from people saying, I'm going to be hungry all the time if I'm only eating food in those little containers. Talk about just that process and what people can expect who are maybe new to Portion Fix with this super block.
I think that's one of the things that's always been so important for me, or to me, is that food has been overcomplicated. And I know as a kid, like I was always, even though I was never extremely overweight or anything.
Okay, how can you say that? Because if we're not paying attention to the lists, certain things should be like, oh, this is a fruit. No, it's actually going to count as a vegetable instead, or this would normally be this. No, we're going to count that over here instead. And so she made it so complicated, and you have your approved list and your not approved. Like, it is ridiculous. So to say it's not complicated,
like,
Yeah,
I was
it's
trying
super
to figure out,
complicated.
like, how am I supposed to be eating? I was a competitive dancer, and I wanted to bring something to people where it doesn't feel like a diet. It's not a diet. It's not even that it doesn't feel like a diet. That is not a
It
diet. I
is
just
a
wanted to be
diet.
able to
Putting
It
things
is.
into containers and measuring the hell out of them, and then saying you can eat this and you can't eat this, is literally, by definition, say it with me, a diet, Autumn.
Well, and she also, I mean, keep in mind too, she has her lists. Her lists are actually divided into best, better, good. So even within the restrictive list she gave you, there's a further restriction. If you're not having results, eat from the top part of the list.
How is this
Yeah.
not? How is this not? Does this not count as a diet? And this is frustrating to me because it's like we're listening to them talk, we're not clipping it to take them out of context, and it is wild what they're saying. And then it's like, oh, you're just a hater. What they're saying is it doesn't even meet the definition. Oh, what is a diet? This is a diet. They're saying, well, this isn't a diet, even though it meets every standard of a diet. But it's not, just because we think about it differently. No, you're playing with semantics right now. It's the same thing.
He's making up definitions again. He's good at that. He's really good at making those up.
For sure. Health esteem.
show people, like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
you really don't have to overcomplicate this. We don't have to give up everything. You could still have your cocktails. You could still
You don't have to give up everything, just most things. You need to
just
give up joy.
99 things, but you still get one. Yeah. You have to
keep
give
in
up
mind-
all emotions too.
And oh wait, here's what.
have your desserts. Let's make sure we balance out our macronutrients.
So she said you can have your wine and you can have desserts. Let's talk about alcohol on her plan. If you choose to have alcohol, you have to give up food.
Oh, what?
So it will count as one of your yellow containers. If you have a night that you want to have a glass of wine, then you would have to take one of your yellow containers off and use that. So she's saying it's better to swap alcohol for food. Like,
no.
what are you talking about? But yet, like an Oreo would be just don't even think about it. She does give you some recipes for some craptastic desserts. So, I guess you could have your Shakeology. Use your Shakeology as a dessert.
Yeah, you got alcohol and Shakeology,
so that we're getting everything. Yep. We're not getting too much of one and not enough of the other. Let's do it in this simple way. That Heather Church is the one who came up with the idea to color code the containers. So I had the containers, but Heather was like, let's color code them based on the different food groups that they'll be picking from. And what people don't realize at first is that they get multiples of those containers. Yes, 7 containers show up. It's the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple.
Big whoop. One tablespoon versus 2, where I'm going to get to have multiple. You're missing the point, Autumn. You literally are missing it because you're so focused on it. You cannot see that what am I trying to say?
Getting these and being like, I can eat this one container of vegetables today. I can eat this one container. They think people are dumb. They think that we cannot think things through. So, I'm so glad she clarified that I can eat more than just 10 carrots. I can actually eat up to 60 carrots because I still have to measure them out though. Like,
yeah, it's unhealthy, and then they're preying on people who don't have. They're creating an unhealthy eating environment where your relationship with food is getting exploited, and then they are having you delve deeper into that bad relationship by creating this portion fix system, and then you're really messed up years down the road. I know Cheryl's talked about it. I know you've talked about it. I know Jen's talked about it. And Amber's talked about it too, but it's like you have to unlearn it with a professional, and most professionals who are licensed, registered dietitians, they're gonna say like, this is not healthy, and
No.
then they're saying this is healthy.
Well, and I even told my dietitian, I was like, well, I was trying to get more vegetables in, but I chose sugar snap peas. And so I know that doesn't really count. And he was like, what? It's like, you're not counting that as a vegetable? And I was like, well, no. And no, because it has too much sugar in it. He was like, oh my gosh, you ate a vegetable. Like, stop it. Because they get so deep into your psyche that, well, that doesn't count. It doesn't count. And unlearning it is really hard.
Yeah.
But like, you're not eating 1 green a day. Like, depending on where you fall based on your goals, you might be eating 5 vegetable servings a day, 6. You might be getting 3 or 4 fruits, 4 or 5 proteins. You know, you're getting plenty of food. And because it's healthy food, it's nutrient dense, you actually get to eat more of it. So what I always would hear is, oh my God, I'm going to starve. Then they would start using it, and I would start getting messages going, do I have to eat all my containers because I'm full and I can't finish them? And I'm like,
it is all about, so she's going for volume eating.
Yeah,
and when you're
to
just
fill up
looking
with
fill up. Yep. To fill up. And it's so hard to look at that and then think, okay, her recommendation. So let's say that I had lifted pretty heavy one day. Her first recommendation is to eat an additional vegetable, not protein. You go to vegetable first, and then you go to protein after that. Like, no, you should be upping your protein. It's going to be more satiating, but she just wants you to fill with volume, just with volume.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the calories and creating a caloric deficit for her is and I say this based on what I've listened to her say, and the program she creates support this idea that she does not want you to go over your calories, even if that means not getting enough protein. And guess what? Your body has to have protein to do certain processes. And no, I'm not a registered dietitian, but if you don't get it, guess where it's going to take that from? It's going to take it from your organs or your muscles. And that is one of the problems that people run into if they have certain EDs, because their body needs it, and they end up with long-term problems because of their body trying to get the nutrients it's going to take.
Yeah.
So it's just,
and it definitely, as far as like the anxiety, and someone else earlier had mentioned OCD. So I do have OCD, and the amount of fixation that I had on food was awful, because I mean, I was counting things out. And did you know that not only are you supposed to put it in the container, but you're supposed to be able to put the lid on it so that you don't overfill the container.
wow.
And so I was putting the lid on it every time to make sure I was not overfilling my containers. But it was awful. It ruled my life.
Yeah.
These stupid containers. And so it definitely contributes to a lot of disordered eating patterns.
well, we do need to get that in. We've got to look at the food that we're picking, right? That's how you adjust it. That's how you play with it. Maybe you're eating something that leaves you feeling more full. So let's pick something that's easier to digest. But it was meant to be simple. And even with this super block, really what I'm encouraging people to do is go back to the most basic version of this. Like when 21 Day Fix came out, it wasn't 21 Day Fix and Portion Fix. It was 21 Day Fix. 21 Day Fix is the fitness and the nutrition together. It's one program, right? It's not just the workouts. We've since pulled the nutrition component out, so people felt like they could do it with other programs or do it on their own. But 21 Day Fix is the fitness and nutrition together. And I'm just telling people, like, guys, let's take it back to the basics of that. Like, even though we have time nutrition and we have carb cycling from Fix Extreme and all these different things, go back and watch the videos. So over time, people have started to implement their own rules or like interpret what I have said.
My rules are the
I hear
gold
some crazy
standard,
things.
not
I'm like,
yours.
go back, watch the videos. Look at the food list. Pull the containers out, like dust them off a little bit, use them a couple times. You don't have to eat out of them, but fill them, put the food on your plate. And I know a lot of my podcast has been doing that, and they're just like, oh my God, I forgot. Like, you think you're doing it, but you forgot little parts of it. And as they're doing it, they're like, I feel so good. I can't believe how quick my body's changing. I can't believe how much more energy I have. So it's an important part of it. The workout is important, but that is 2% of your day. Yeah. Nutrition happens all day, every day. We have to eat. So really what I'm hoping to teach people is how to have a healthy relationship with food. Yeah. It's not even just about healthy food. It's about
a healthy relationship with food.
How is that? How does this exemplify that?
I have no word. She frustrates me so much because there have been so many of us talking about all of the problems that we had and have had since doing some of these things, and it is never acknowledged. It's like, oh, well, you just did it wrong. Okay, well, what about the other things? Because she did teach people carb cycling. She basically provided them with a bikini competition plan for Portion Fix. Or excuse me, for 21 Day Fix Extreme. I think that was the one that ended up being more of a, with the carb cycling. And then 80 Day Obsession, again, timed nutrition, set alarms to remind you to eat. I would be thinking about food 24/7 and checking my alarms and checking my phone for times compulsively to make sure that you ate them at the right time. And she even told you which containers to eat at which time. So if you talk about control, it was nuts, the amount of control they exerted over your food.
Yep.
Having a healthy relationship with your food.
Well, that, isn't that the essence of health esteem, really, that that changing this mindset that the industry will start with, well, here's what you can't have. You can't have bread, and you can't have sweets, and you can't have cocktails. You can't have too much of this, and here's your kale. And health esteem is really about, okay, let's figure out what you love. What enhances your life in a way that you love it, and build some flexibility into that, planned flexibility, so that you also not only get the foods you love.
Okay, though, here's the thing. If what they say to do is, okay, well, if you are waiting, and if you're going to go out on a really, in more of an indulgent dinner, then you save up your containers all day. So don't eat all day, and then you can eat your containers at dinner. It's simple. It's simple. And it's like, that is not what you should be doing. Here's your kale.
It creates it plays into that. I know we keep saying disordered, but that relationship with food, how you think about food, how you're saying like, oh, I can't go over this, so I'm just going to hoard all my food to one time, so I'm going to be full at least at one of my meals, and maybe that fullness is going to carry me over till the morning. And it's like, no, and we say this as Amy worked with a registered dietitian. We've heard other registered dietitians talk about this program. Brianna Jewell is a registered dietitian in training. So she's going to school for it. She's going to take her test. Kat Benson is a registered dietitian, and she's talked about the problems of this program. It's not just us being like, oh, well, we just can't explain it. And I say experts, there's professionals who are up to date with their licenses in the field who say that there is an issue with this program because of the mindset around it and actually how much food you get to eat. It's just
But that, that's not the tail that wags the dog. You're the dog. You want to say, I want to live a life that I love. So I'm going to wag the tail. I'm going to tell my food how it's going to be so that I get the life that I want to live. And I saw your Instagram story was,
oh no, I just restarted it somewhere. I'll go back to where we were, but your face was amazing in that. you were like, what?
I can't believe some of the stuff he says. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna hope that we were about over here.
Love it, and build some flexibility into that planned flexibility.
Okay, yeah.
So that you also not only get the foods you love, but that, you know, the
tail
wagging the tail that wags the dog. You're the dog. You want to say, I want to live a life that I love. So I'm going to wag the tail. I'm going to tell my food how it's going to be so that I get the life that I want to live. And I actually saw your
what is that
Instagram
life?
Story where
and you know,
you talked a little bit about.
I know Brianna Jewell did a video about this, but like there's some times where people like are inhibited by sometimes their weight and how it impacts like a joint or they or fitness level. They want to be able to do things with their kids and not be tired, or they want to be able to go on a walk and not be out of breath, or whatever that is. There are certain goals that are not associated with your weight loss. Some people, like, sometimes that is a goal for people because it increases their mobility. I'm not trying to dip. I know I'm like very close to the edge of being politically incorrect, but I'm just like, his perspective is you're the dog, you're wagging the tail because you need to be thin. And it's like, no, Carl, and stop it.
And so like what Crystal said, you know, it's hard though, because she actually does want to lose weight. And in my opinion, that's not a bad thing. Right. You know, if you are doing it for like the right reasons, not to look the way that they want you to look. But for me, like my knees, I had a total knee replacement. I have to be more aware of my joints and what pressure I may be placing upon them. And so, you know, it is so twisty, and I do feel privileged. If you have insurance, check with your insurance company, because my insurance company covers 12 visits with a registered dietitian with zero deductible. They just covered it.
Awesome.
And I never knew that. And I never had checked that. And I was like, oh, you mean I could have been talking to an actual professional covered under my insurance for these years? Huh. Maybe I should have started with that. Yeah.
The transition to body and health esteem, and a little bit about what it means to you. And you know, look, I'm excited for everybody to get the super block. And I want to be clear just real quick for all the partners watching us. Everybody who buys the Total Solution Pack in March gets not only the 21-day fix super block, but also, do they? I don't know. They also get the T25? Okay.
Dude, you run this company.
I only know because I was watching Partner Stories this morning and they were talking about it.
Okay, got it.
Buddy, you
Good.
run this company.
So,
your stock price is tanking. You cannot do this on a live stream. Oh my God. Let me show how confident and how good of a grasp I have on the programs I'm coming out with. Okay, Carl, show us. And then this happens. My guy. Oh.
So wait, is there anyone on here? Are there any partners on here? Can you tell me how this program works? Because that'd be great. I'm not quite sure what I'm charging people for. Ugh.
Oh my God.
I think that's right.
Oh my God.
So, but at the end of the day, and you also get 4 beginners.
Hey, wait, that's our sound clip right there. I think it's right.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have to write that one down. All right, we're gonna have to write that one because that's good. He's just the figurehead.
Apparently, I've never been on live television before, and apparently, the little apparently kid, that's Carl right now.
Only. That's why I'm not sure, because 4 beginners only in there, so it's 4 beginners only in 21-day fix. Then it's 21-day fix and T25. So I'm not sure, but so I'll have to check that. But
stop on your head.
February got everybody everything.
Access to 4 beginners only.
Okay, got it.
But
yeah, no, it's.
Here, wait.
Yes, purchase in March and you get 4 beginners only and 21-day fix. Purchase in April and you get 21-day fix and T25. That's the way it's constructed. So, but look, the mindset that the overall health esteem category has has been a evolution for us. And while I think we've always
Blink, blink,
been
blink.
there,
Oh.
we got conscious about it and put it out in front with the
I need to
launch
make
of the
this.
health.
Yes.
Did he honestly just say we've always been there? We just needed to bring it more into our like consciousness. You have never been there. Like and it did not like slowly come as an evolution. You stated it in October and you told people to switch. It's not.
Yeah.
There's
not even been a sign of it.
The way he changes his narrative so quickly is gross.
Self-esteem category. How has your approach to developing programs, communicating with your audience, communicating with our audience evolved over the course of 10 years and what we will see now with the 21-day fixed super block?
Sorry, it's drying.
Tell us, Autumn.
I honestly, while everybody evolves, and I think in this particular program, Super Block, this is probably the most mindset coaching that I've ever done. Like I'm always trying to motivate and inspire in the blocks, but like this is like I went hardcore on the mindset coaching in this one because
with who? Who
with
helps
zero
you?
information on how to do this, right? This is just her spouting information. And it would be interesting to compare what she says in this one to her previous ones, because her other ones were like, you don't quit when you think you're done, you quit when it's finished, or some of these different things that it's like, wait, no. All right, I'm going to let this play. We may have a special visitor in a second.
That's really what it's all about.
Yes.
I've said it before that getting fit doesn't start in the gym. It starts in your mind. It's the mindset that you take into your workouts. It's the mindset.
No, you said it starts in the
take into
kitchen.
your food. It's
She
the
said,
meaning that
she
you're
literally
giving.
said fitness starts in the kitchen. It doesn't start in your mind. Maybe she has said it. I haven't watched every single piece of content. Oh my God. Okay, Autumn.
It's not the traditional messaging that she's had.
To something being hard. Are you welcoming it and knowing it's a challenge that's going to help you grow, or are you dreading it? And like, what language are you putting on that? And I think that's probably been the biggest evolution for me, is just how I express that.
Oh, Amy, I'll just send her the code.
My goal has always been the same, and that's why I even said in my Instagram story
it should
today,
be
I was like,
down here. Invite.
I believe our mission
got
is
it.
still the same: help people reach their goals and lead healthy, fulfilling lives. And that mission has always resonated with me since day one. But maybe making sure that people are really not focused on this all or nothing mindset, even though I do feel like that's something I've preached for 10 years, is that it's not an all or nothing. And even with
you literally said that. You've literally said it. Literally, ma'am. And that's what makes us crazy.
Follow the binder. When I was freaking out. Like, no, she does say all or nothing. Often.
Yeah.
Body positivity BS. This, like, it's just people who want to be on their couch eating Cheetos. I don't have Cheetos, but these have you tried these Lay's kettle? They're pretty delicious. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not an all or nothing, and I've always said, like, this whole I screwed up thing. Like, what is that? Like, you did life, and if that doesn't serve in the direction of your goal, okay, fine, we did it, and let's move on, because you can't undo it. So maybe we're just bringing it more to light. Like, maybe I'm putting a little extra focus on that and really trying to help people.
You mean focus for the first time?
I say it all the time. Meet yourself where you're at for that day. Not even for maybe where you were at that week, because if you wake up tired, if you got less sleep, something like that, you might not wake up and feel your best. Just meet yourself where you're at that day. Do your best for that day. Yeah. Trying to help people learn to love the process. Not everybody is like me. I wake up excited to work out. I love vegetables. But I know that's not everybody. So trying to help people who don't feel that, because I think
No, remember, Carl doesn't like vegetables, so Carl gets it in with his Shakeology. That's why he That's why he came up with the idea for Shakeology, because he comes up with all the ideas.
Oh,
The
Carl.
exception, not the rule. There's some like me, but not most. That helping them find the fun in it. Like, what's the fun in the working out? What's the fun in
Eating broccoli for breakfast is not fun. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's not my favorite.
And eating cauliflower for breakfast is not fun. You know, it's just.
I mean, now if I could roast it in like olive oil with some seasonings on it, okay, maybe a little bit. But the breakfasts that she does are just, they need some seasoning. They need some stuff on there.
the journey? What's the fun in getting in the kitchen and cooking and fueling your body and not eating food that tastes like cardboard because it doesn't have to? I don't know if I answered your question, but like I said.
Well, look, I think, it's interesting to the perspective on the I screwed up. This is so special and so powerful and so obvious, but we all live life. That's what's so important about health esteem, is we need to be allowed to live life. But the industry and even Beachbody had never proactively helped solve for the I screwed up scenario. Meaning, like, we would try, hey, get back on, let's start your thing. But by bringing personal development and by consciously bringing the concept forward of what I would call recovery tools, meaning because we would see it so much. People go into the weekend and they would, like, they're in the middle of a program, they go into the weekend and they had a birthday party and they went off the rails. And I lost you there. Oh, she's back.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, like, they would we would see them post, oh, do I need to start over again because I had this crazy weekend, or I missed I missed a couple of workouts. And now with the positive mindset and what I think you're doing an amazing job.
Okay, though, personal development was always one of the pillars, right? It was one of the 4 vital behaviors. It's always, personal development has always been in there, but now they're acting like it's this new thing. And he drove that behavior. And someone
he also talked about it on 75. So during the Champagne Gala, he was saying all these people doing 75 hard type of challenge. In 75 hard, it's all or nothing. If you lose, you have to start over. And all of the Beachbody coaches are supporting that idea of be 100% committed or don't do it at all. And so how can they say
or come in on like Monday and beat yourself up for not following it, right? Like those are your options.
Yeah. And so it's just
no. And I don't understand how she's talking about this with Kat as her modifier in this program. And during this time that they were filming, Kat talking about, oh man, it's going to be really rough because I screwed up over the weekend. Yep. Excuse me?
Of motivation and keeping people in this mindset that real life coexists with the fitness and nutrition. It is a part of real life, so it needs to be integrated in everything. And now we're saying to people for the first time, I think, in the industry, hey,
no, you're not.
Let's proactively arm you for the realities of life that include screwing up or failure. And let's all realize it's not failure, it's just life. And I think that's liberating for people. And that's the beauty of getting that.
What's up, Jen? All right.
Hi.
What's up?
What have I missed?
Oh my gosh. They're talking about how Beachbody is the first company to ever bring personal development in, and to, these are all the new things that they're doing. And let's see, what else am I missing? 21 Day Fix was a beginner program. Oh wait, what? I thought Lacey's was the first one. They're good. Yeah. Yeah. And Carl
Never before in
all
the
the
fitness
ideas.
industry.
He also, my personal favorite was that he had this idea to create a program that had fitness and nutrition in it. And so he was looking for a personality to launch that. He wasn't looking for an
Yeah.
expert. He was looking for a personality to do that.
Yeah.
So she's
You
a
said that at the
personality.
beginning. Yep.
And wait, you're old school like I was. Shalene Extreme came with a meal plan.
Yes, it did.
So did Insanity.
Yep.
All of them.
And
They had
P90X too.
P90X. And they even had supplements for P90X. So the stuff that he's saying now that it's like, oh, this is all new.
No, it's
No, my
not.
guy, you did it back here.
I mean,
And-
how many times have I said this is nothing new?
Mm-mm.
Nothing new.
No, and Autumn does a lot more mindset coaching during this block. And I told DeeCee I had to turn the sound off on any of her workout programs because I got so sick of hearing her just
Yep.
talking the entire time. Yeah, Turbo Jam had a food program too. Like all of them did. It's kind of all right. Here we go.
Up week, the ability to sort of take a week off, or if you missed a couple workouts in the first 3 weeks, you get to pick them up in the third week, and then you go do another round of it, another round. It's pretty amazing. Okay, I promise that we keep this to a half hour because I know you've got a busy day and you're shooting and everything. But I want to put this in perspective because you're a great businesswoman, and so you know a lot of partners, obviously.
All right, though, I will agree with him on that. She has done a really good job marketing and making an insane
Herself.
amount of money for
Wait,
herself.
back it up. Did he say she's got a lot of partners? Is he talking about Beachbody partners, or is he talking about?
Let's
Partner.
rewind it to right here. Let's see.
It's pretty amazing. Okay, I promise that we keep this to a half hour because I know you've got a busy day and you're shooting and everything. But I want to put this in perspective because you're a great businesswoman, and so you know a lot of partners, obviously, women looking to make an extra income.
Wait, who do you target? Women.
Women.
Why would he just say women? Because some of
I bet.
they ask
So
Mel.
he's gonna try. I bet. Is he about to try and compare what she does as a businesswoman to what MLM reps do?
That would be my guess.
It is totally.
Oh, and we just have to give a shout out. It is Pie Day. I think I need to go buy some pies.
Oh heck
I
yeah,
might-
I want some pie.
I asked Anthony last night at like 11:30. I'm like, do we have any desserts in the house? He's like, no, too late to go to the store, honey. Can you go pick up a pie today?
Nice.
He's like, yeah.
Yep. Tell him it's pie time. It's pie.
Yeah, he's asking.
Haven't necessarily been entrepreneurs in their lives and are wondering, can I do this? How do I lean into this? Or am I welcome at the table of entrepreneurs? What
You're
have you
a
learned
warm
as
body with a credit card. Of course you're welcome at the table. And I say this as kindly as I can. There's no discretionary recruiting in any multi-level marketing company. They pretend like, oh, we're being
18 and a
selective.
social security number. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
18 and social.
That's all they
I'm able to buy that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry for the
business
outburst.
person, that maybe you take for granted, but that probably the audience would love to hear how
Really?
you approach
Yes,
the
yes,
business
tell us.
side
Tell us
of
that.
your mission of helping people.
She's a super trainer.
Well, first
Isn't
of all,
she on
everybody's
salary?
welcome at the table. Is long.
You know, I don't know how their pay structure works. It would be interesting to find out. Do you know anything about it, Jen? How it works for the super trainer
They're on contracts.
contract?
Okay.
Yeah, they're on contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's their, and the pay is probably different for her. She probably gets paid more than any of them.
I would
I
guess
bet she gets a bonus for number of plays of a program so that it
That's
has
what
some
the
incentive.
that's what the running theory is, and that's
Hey,
one of the reasons why we think she only streams her workouts only.
Well,
Yep.
wasn't it? I don't remember which program. He bought Shanti a Tesla. Do you remember that?
Did
He got Shanti a Tesla after one of the programs because it did so well. It was like a a Christmas present type thing. And it was,
That's
I remember that. Shanti has since gotten rid of that because now I think he has a partnership with Nissan or something.
Yeah, he's got a big old truck.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're willing to work, you can be an entrepreneur. I think if you're coming into it thinking
That is
that being an
Kim K
entrepreneur
vibes right
means
there.
it's not going to be work, we got to have
Yep.
a mindset shift again. But look, you guys, I was doing this long before there was social media. So the strategies I had to implement 15, 17 years ago when I started as a trainer, there is a hustle that has to happen. And you don't wake up on day one expecting to have a full client roster as a trainer. You know, I was having business cards made and handing them out and putting them on the cork board at Starbucks and taking out ads in newspapers and flyering people's cars. And the whole point of that is that you're going to try and things are not going to work. And then you try again. And then something starts to work. And sometimes you don't even realize what's working. And you need to sit down and analyze what you're doing and what is working. But I can tell you, ultimately.
Do you have questions, DeeCee?
I do. Isn't the point of joining a multi-level marketing company is because they have some systems or processes in place so that you don't have to figure out everything and reinvent the wheel? She's literally saying, yep, you just have to keep working at it and keep hustling hard, and then maybe you'll get hit with success if you're thinking about it the right way. No, like there's a reason I think that you're paying a premium to be with a multi-level marketing company, because supposedly they say we know what to do, and they don't. They don't, in my opinion.
They talk about it like you're going to come in, just get 3 people to sign up every month, and you're going to make the money.
Yep.
Yep. And to get 3 people to sign up every month is not easy.
Well, and guess what? I did do that, and I didn't make money. Like I did that, but even if you sell 3, the amount of money you're making is barely covering the products that you're drinking. The basic products, but you're probably ordering a whole lot more. And she's also not mentioning the fact, I don't know how she got in with celebrities, but she was a celebrity trainer.
She worked at Equinox.
Oh, there you go.
In LA. That's how.
Is that a big celebrity gym?
It's really expensive.
Oh,
really expensive.
It's a high-end gym. They're not in all cities. They're just in like major metropolitan areas. But yeah,
she was in 𝐔𝐒𝐄 Kardashian's Revenge Body. Autumn was one of the celebrity trainers on that. Yep.
Yeah. And she did Brooke Burke's videos.
Oh,
Those are on YouTube.
Yep.
The thing that always worked the best for me consistently and still to this day is showing up every day, not just on the days where you feel like it, and giving my best, like literally giving my best, giving my all. Because what ended up being my ultimate calling card, business card, was my clients. If I had one client that felt really great and really taken care of and really supported, they ended up telling their friend, I train with this girl, Autumn. She's amazing. I love her. I'm getting results. You should try her. And they would give her my number. They would give that person my number. And that next person would call me. And honestly, that is ultimately how I ended up with 9 years ago, Beachbody, here we are as Body. But that is how I ended up with you guys. I had created my version of a portion control system. I showed it to a client of mine.
I was going to say, wait, Jen has something to say. I just knew it was coming, Jen. Did she create that?
No. The United States Department of Agriculture created My Plate, and those containers are based off of My Plate. Even the pictures on that box, on the boxes of Change My Plate, are the same as what the U.S. government uses for My Plate.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Which that client was the best friend of a client I had already been training for years. That client loved me and respected me and knew what a hard worker I was, that they showed it to a friend of theirs, and that friend brought it to you guys. So it's like I had to have not one person trust me, but I had to have multiple people trust me to get to there. And so all of that, again, goes back to say, like, here we are. show up every day, even on the days that you don't feel like it. We say you have to be the proof the product works. That does not mean you have to be a certain size, but it needs to reflect that you're not just sometimes in it and sometimes completely out of it. And
So you're not just in it sometimes, you're not out of it sometimes.
I'm just on a personal note right now. Me showing up right now sucks, and I don't want to, which is why if you're following me and you're seeing my Instagram stories, I'm just reposting stuff that I want to share with people, and two, think is funny, because I can't work out right now. I'm showing up in my community group, but it's like I don't have the capacity right now dealing with. By the way, my surgery got moved to Thursday now.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh.
Sorry.
No anesthesiologist for tomorrow. But
that's an essential job.
Yeah. As a business owner, you are in control of how you show up. You do not have to show up every day if you do not want to. I have friends that delete social media on the weekends, every single weekend, and do not show up in their business.
Yep.
You do not have to show up every day. There's different ways for different people. This may work for her. The hustle and grind culture may work for other people, but you are ultimately in control of how you run your own business. And if you have somebody else telling you you're doing it wrong, tell them to kick rocks.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, to me, I watch some of these coaches and you're trying to tell me how much time freedom you have, but you're on here all the time. You don't have time freedom because you're posting 24/7. It doesn't make sense. So she did, I just want to answer this. So she did have a certification. She let it.
Yes.
Back then she had one. She let it lapse because according to her, she said that she didn't want to read the same material over and over and over again. That's not how you maintain a certification.
Nope.
You have continuing education credits that you have to have.
Yeah,
and
you're not taking the same test every 2 years.
No.
You just have to take other courses, learn other things, learn about new styles of training, learn about
new science.
New science comes out all the time.
Yeah.
New research comes out about rest times, tempo times, how to program, like programming ideas. There's so much out there to learn. And she, like on that one live, she's like, oh, NASM, I don't want to take the same thing over and over again. To certify for NASM, you don't read the book again, and you don't take the same test. You have to take in 2 years,
and exactly
hours of new education.
Yep. Well, so I mean, I have been out of the workforce now for almost like 12 years, staying home, but I maintain my professional certification by still doing classes, because if for some reason I decided to go back to work, I would want to keep that certification because I don't want to ever take that test ever again. It was an awful test and I passed it. And now I take continuing education credits to maintain my certification because I want to actually show that I am up to date on current knowledge in that field. And and I think that's important to do.
The company she currently has her certifications through, they don't count as continuing education credits for personal trainers.
Oh.
Because are you talking
surprise,
IIN?
Surprise.
Yeah, IIN.
Yeah. It doesn't count. It's not accredited.
Nope. The beauty of the body block is that, we have this construct days a week. You have 2 days off. You can pick when those are. You've got your up week. But you do have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to try. And I'm going to use the word just this one time. You have to be willing to fail. Because if you're not failing, you're not growing. And all failing is, and I love this, Petra used it on social media the other day. I've used it now in the workout. I love the acronym. It just means your first attempt at learning. And especially if you're a new partner, you've got a lot to learn in this business. Just like
wait. First attempt at learning. That's fall.
No, I think she said first attempt in learning, but really it should be first attempt at learning. First attempt in learning doesn't make sense, but they're really good at creating new words.
entrepreneur.
it's
We have a lot to learn, and you're going to stumble and make mistakes.
My favorite still is tour de pounce. That
Yes.
still, I think that one takes the cake.
It's all a part of it, and it's all okay, and it should all be welcomed, and it all is an opportunity to grow and get to the next step. And even now, I am still constantly learning, and that's the beauty of it all. Is every day I show up here, as good as I am, I get to get better every time I show up. I get to learn something from a camera guy, a sound.
Every day, even though I am amazing, I'm going to get more amazing. As good as I am, even as good as I am, I can still improve. Man.
I mean, is there even room enough for us on this stream with the ego right now? I don't even know.
Right?
Ugh.
Yeah. Yikes.
Guy, a podcast member, watching Carl work, watching our body partners work. I get to learn something new, and then I get to implement that into my business side of it. So we're all a team here. We get to learn and work with each other.
Yeah, well, and I think the only thing you didn't say that I would say on your behalf is I'm always amazed at your courage and your resilience, and also incredibly grateful for your belief and trust in what we're doing. We call it non-consensus consensus, and that is we look back at a track record of 24 years, and we've done
what? We need to make a Beachbody dictionary, because what is he talking about? We've got health esteem, we've got non-consensus consensus, we've got all the other things that they've said. Oh, what is a diet in Beachbody's terminology? It's different than everybody else's definition. They have so much of their own language, and that is part of the bite model. It's part of, I don't know. It's twisty. It's twisty.
We've done a lot of incredible things, and at many steps of that journey, a lot of things that had people sort of scratching their head, like, how can you do something
Right
that
now?
says it's
Now?
extreme or that would be called insanity, or who sells a shake that's $4 or $5 a serving when there's protein shakes for
You mean
99
$10
cents.
a serving?
We're all still saying that.
I mean, if can you imagine how much would Shakeology cost if that MLM model went away? Because they wouldn't have to pay out so much money to the
right. But
it would still suck, but it might actually be affordable.
Right?
It might be $100 cheaper, probably, or at least $90 cheaper.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. And someone mentioned this earlier in the stream. He does look tired in this one. He looks like he's struggling on this one. Jenny missed. He couldn't even remember what people would pay to get the body blocks. And
yeah, he was asking people in the chat what the price for something was and how his body block system worked. I'm like, buddy, it's you. You're the problem.
Mm-hmm. And yes, the body losing call is today. It actually starts in like 20 minutes, I think.
Is it 5 p.m.
Create a new category. So I'm super grateful for your hustle and your courage and your resilience and your creativity and your heart. So I just want to say that every
and
coach,
your ability to block out any opinion that doesn't align with yours.
Yep.
And Carl is stretching for all these compliments. This sounds like a teacher trying to say good things about a student that you don't have a lot of good things to say. And might be me. It's just like, it doesn't come across as genuine to me personally.
I would agree.
That's just my opinion.
I agree.
Take advantage of this window of opportunity. March is going to be a big deal. Get people going with Body Block or any of the programs in March and prepare for an incredible launch of the 21-day fix super block.
Did you notice he was talking about all of the things you could do in March, and he did not mention for beginners only? Why would he? Like, he is not on his game in this video.
On April 3rd. That's the first Monday of April. And Autumn, I know you're going to be sort of supporting people in all the coach groups, jumping in there. You'll be jumping into the body block group, and obviously supporting the people in your portion fix group. So thanks for everything. Thanks for joining me for Behind the Block.
Thank you.
And
It's going to be very hard to stop saying coach, isn't it?
It is. Or did I just say coach?
Like twice.
Oh, shoot.
I was like, you did so good. You had partner the whole time. But we're going to do it.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yay, trashing your boss
But
on
honestly,
live
thank you,
stream.
Carl, I appreciate it. I
Right?
appreciate the opportunity 10 years ago, the opportunity that I've had to do all of the programs I have, that we have the super block and we get to relaunch 21 Day Fix. I hope everybody has as much fun as I have had up on this stage filming it with everybody. It's going to be a good time in April.
It's going to be awesome. Okay. Thanks, Autumn. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you next time for another episode of Behind the Block. See you later.
Oh, yay.
So
There's
I know
more episodes.
Yeah, I've got the one that he did with Lacey. I just haven't watched that one yet. And then I'm sure he'll have one with Shanti, because Shanti's filming T25 right now. Yeah.
I'm just glad that Shanti actually has actual qualified, certified personal trainers in his T25 Delta. Like his coach is in it. His trainer's in it.
Oh, is she really?
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing. Watching, it's been so fascinating though to watch, because the physique he has now is not doing anything related with Beachbody.
Nope.
He has a personal trainer. He is trying, because he's going for fitness comps, isn't he? He wants to be a competitor.
Yep.
So
competitions.
Yeah. Tanya was in the cast for the original T25. Now Shanti doesn't even seem to know that Tanya exists. They used to have all kinds of things together, and now they don't.
Nope.
She's not supportive at all in the portion fix group. That would be a fascinating group to be in. I'm
not surprised. I'm sure she probably tells people to go read the book.
Right? Or the she posts. Okay, so let me tell you what I have been seeing. So if she did post something in her IG stories about being in it, what she's actually talking about is being in the podcast. So she's on the screen behind. She's not actually in it. And it was funny because I saw a coach say how excited she was because the original program that changed everything for her, she now got to be in the cast of it, and how amazing it was. You're not really in the cast. You're on a screen behind the trainers.
Yep.
And as far as it costing money to be in those groups, you either have to hit goals, like certain business goals, and you get invited in, or you have to be one of the top coaches that has a large social media following.
Yep.
Were you ever in any groups, Jen?
No.
Because I hit all the goals, but I normally, I got cool things like bobbleheads and stuff.
I got t-shirts and hats and a backpack.
Ooh,
I would
did
kill
really like
for a Joel Freeman bobblehead. I wouldn't kill. That for legal purposes, that was a joke. I would love to have a Joel Freeman bobblehead to be on my desk right here next to me when I react to.
So I had a 𝐔𝐒𝐄 one. I had a 𝐔𝐒𝐄 one, and my toddler loved to play with it, and he kept popping the head off of it, and so it didn't last very long at my house. So all right, well, that was super fun. They're
a
we're
trick.
at the end of it. We are sending you all of our best, because surgery is no fun.
Nope.
Surgery is no fun. What is the recovery time frame on that?
Well, surgery on Thursday, then I am foot up for 14 days. And
Okay.
I got my little knee rover scooter, no non-weight bearing for a while.
Wow. Yikes.
I'll have the follow-up next week, and we'll talk about physical therapy and when. So but I'll probably start physical therapy in like 3 weeks.
Okay. It's so hard. It's so hard to be benched. I mean,
I'm in the recliner now, but between the chair and the couch, it'll be 3 weeks on Saturday.
oh man.
Wow.
All right, DeeCee, I'm not even gonna lie. I am currently in the process of purchasing a Jill bobblehead for you on eBay.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Oh my gosh, Amy.
It's going to be the gift that just keeps on giving. Now,
Yep.
if we
Oh
could
my
just
gosh,
get
I
you a
can't wait.
Snuggie. The Shakeology Snuggies are
Oh.
pretty
Put
Those
that
were-
out into the universe. I will.
Snuggie for DC.
I'm
Can you imagine
manifesting.
us doing a taste test within a Shakeology Snuggie and like getting sick to my stomach, drinking Beachbody products?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, sounds awful.
Keep an EpiPen on hand just in case you have another allergic reaction, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, keep
Although-
urgent care on speed dial.
We do have to do one where we talk about Prove It, and we'll eat a keto puppy chow made out of pork rinds and chocolate.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm down for that. I am
Mhm.
down for that. Live chat, you have been incredible. Thank you so much for all the amazing comments. Our live streams would not be as dynamic or as interesting without y'all. In replay crew, much non-culty love to you. Thank you so much for you watching. And if you've made it to this end of the stream and you like the stream, we'd actually love for you to click the like button, because that's helpful for us, and it helps other people who are looking for Beachbody stuff to find it too. Because if you watch Beachbody stuff and someone who's pro MLM watches it, this will get shoveled out to them. Maybe, hopefully, we can hope. So
We can
thank
hope.
you.
Absolutely.
We can hope.
All right. Well, Jen, we're glad you were able to join us at the last part, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
I'm gonna click
Bye,
into
everyone.
I'm gonna listen
Bye.
to the sad call in 10 minutes.
Yep.
Oh,
Beachbody
cool.
Earnings Call, 10 minutes. 10
Yep.
minute countdown.
Awesome.
All right. See you
Awesome.
guys.
Bye.